Hey everybody, welcome back. Got a bit of a list here for you. Thought it'd be fun actually because I was sitting there thinking about it. Uh, I was just sitting there looking at my clones, kind of wiping them off, some of them. And I have a lot of new stuff, a lot of expensive new stuff. I have a lot of cheap new stuff, a lot of clones. But I also have a lot of older fragrances that still work today. Still, they stood the test of time. You know what I mean? That's what I'll call this. Um, so I grabbed 10 of them, and before anybody gets into this, couple caveats. I didn't really think about it. I just grabbed 10 fragrances I knew were 20 years old or more. That whether you liked them or I liked them, because some of them I like better than others. Whether you think they should be on here or I think they should be on here, doesn't matter. The simple fact of the matter is these have been out for about, well, the cutoff was 20 years with the exception of one, and I'll get into that. I'll do that first because I'm going to do it in chronological order from newest to oldest. And Geez, I lost my train of thought there. Oh, well, they've been out, like I said, for 20 years, if not more. Well, most of them a lot more. Um, and they still sell. Now, are they top sellers in the world? No, a couple of them are usually make top sellers lists here, I believe. Um, but they still, I mean, they're usually within the top 100 or so. I'm guessing, and educated guess, but guessing nonetheless. And when you think about the thousands, if not tens of thousands of fragrances out there, to be in the top 100, even 200, is quite a feat, especially 20 plus years later. That's an incredible feat. Um, these still sell today. They still make their parent companies, millions of dollars a year. Um, whether you like them or not, you can't deny that. You can't deny the fact that they have stood the test of time. And that's just what it is. It's not a list about top anything. These aren't in any order except for chronological. Uh, these aren't me saying these are great and you should all get them and going to love them, all that stuff. No, it's in a top list. It's just 10 fragrances that I randomly picked from my collection that are 20 years or older that still sell today. It's remarkable sometimes when you think about that, though. I don't get off a little bit here, but 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. One of them on here is 60 some years, 86 years. And it still makes the company, still sells, makes the company millions of dollars a year. So that's incredible. That's incredible, honestly. Again, and now before I get into this, these are just 10 randoms. There is a whole bunch of other ones you could have picked. This list could be, 500 fragrances that stood the test time. There is a lot. I don't know about 500, but I could make this list super, super long, and the video, hour-long videos cut into 12 different sections. I mean, that's so before you get into it, how could you not include this or that, or how dare you? These were just 10 random ones I picked from my shelf. No rhyme or reason to them other than that they're old and still sell. I'm aware that my list is not going to include Polo Green, Aqua de Gio, Low de Sea, Fahrenheit, believe it or not, Aspen, a Zero per Ohm, and the list goes on and on. They're not included, but they still sell like crazy too. So when something does something right and something good, it lasts. So anyway, let's get right into it. Starting with the newest one, and this is the newest of the bunch, and this one is the one that I was saying that it's not quite 20 years old. It's 19, but the reason I'm including it is because A, it's just a couple months away from being 20 years old, and B, I thought it came out before that. I thought it came out in the late 90s, 2000, 2001 so when I grabbed it, I was like, oh yeah, but then when I looked when it was released, I was just shit. Well, I'm still including it because my list, goddamn it, and I make the rules. So, and it's one of the ones I don't dislike, but it's not wouldn't even make my top 100 fragrances. but it's an okay fragrance. And that's Polo Black. Uh, Released 2005, makes it 19 years old. You know, it's just a fresh, fruity, almost tropical mango off the top kind of vibe. Woody, slightly aquatic even scent. The reason I don't like it, I find the scent is just a little dull, just a little pedestrian, you know, a little ho hum, but and its performance has never been that good on me. But can't deny the fact that it does smell good, and people still buy it. Number 2 on the list, Hugo Boss Bottles. 1998, which makes it 26 years old. You know, this tart, juicy, spicy apple cinnamon combo off the top with a good dose of sandalwood and vanilla. Just you know, to this day, I still say kind of class in a bottle, right? It's great. There's 2 clones in here because I can't find my bottles. I'm not sure if I even have a bottle of this one, but I know I have a bottle of the other one, or vice versa. Anyway, I can't find it. So it's 2 clones representing 2 good clones of them representing them. They're both by Belcam. The first one is going to be CKB 1996, which makes this 28 years old. This is Gender to Be by Belcam, but CKB. Soft, sweet, fresh, floral lavender, green, and white musk. I really enjoy the smell of this scent. I always have. Problem is, of course, again, longevity, but it's just so relaxing to me. Just a relaxing scent that I enjoy greatly. Number 4. For those of you upset I didn't include it in my list from a couple weeks ago, I forget what the fragrances were, but I think it was like fragrances that still work today, but whatever. Because you all know I love this fragrance. This is one of my favorite fragrances. I mean, sometimes it fights it out with Fahrenheit as my most favorite. And that's Le Male. Just straight up Le Male. Still perfectly wearable today. 1995 makes it 29 years old. We're hitting into the 30s now. 30-year-old stuff, guys. Fresh, powdery lavender, green, mint, and soft vanilla. A powdery scent. Some people say fougere-esque. A little bit. But my God, what a beautiful fragrance. What a beautiful just scent profile. All right, let's get into number 5, shall we? 1994. This is the other clone. Because I can't find the bottle. I don't know which one I have. I can't remember now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And that's CK1, 1994. 30 years old. My God, am I getting old. Oh, yeah. I think I just talked about this one in a video. Your fresh, powdery citrus, white musk, clean, all that stuff. It really does smell different on people, honestly. Some people it smells like baby powder. Some people it smells like floral. Some people, it smells like a talcum powder. It's just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. I really enjoy that fragrance still. Number 6. Blue Jeans by Versace. Yeah, 1994, 30 years old also. So those 2 are vice versa, 5 or 6, whatever you want to put. Citrus, powdery lavender, and a ton of other florals, woody, spicy musk, then with a nice vanilla, sweet vanilla. Almost get a bit of a cola vibe off the top, that effervescent, sweet, sparkly. But it quickly goes into a vanilla take on a classic fougere. You know, it's not super fougere. It's not super barbershop. It's not like they just put vanilla in with Azzaro Perome. But it definitely has that throwback bit of a vibe with that vanilla. And it is actually really nice. Now, I heard some people, and this is a very hit or miss fragrance too. I got to say that. Some people love it. Some people hate it. Understandable. I love it, obviously. And, but it's, the new stuff, I guess. This bottle's from like 2000, 2001-ish, somewhere around there. I guess the newer reformulated stuff doesn't perform that well because this performs perfectly fine on me, and it's not a bad scent at all. But you can be the judge of that, whether you like it or not. This isn't a list like that. This is just stuff that stood the test of time. Next, what number are we at here? Number 7. Another Calvin Klein. Calvin Klein was huge, guys. And something else to also know about this is a lot of this stuff is 90s fragrances because that's what I think of when I go to grab things because that was my preteen teenage years, So, Eternity, Calvin Klein, 1990. 34 years old. My God. Really? I wasn't even in double digits when this came out. Or just barely. Citrus, floral, clean, super fresh, with a nice green, somewhat mossy vetiver base and a clean white musk. Again, like the Hugo, kind of class in a bottle. Very nice fragrance, guys. I only have a little small bottle because I don't know where the big bottle went, if I even have one anymore. But this will be enough for me for the rest of my life, though. As much as I like it, it's more of a scent I wear for me nowadays. It's still a beautiful scent. Always seems to be in a top 10, 20, 30 kind of sellers still, which says something about the fragrance. It's 34 years old. All right, getting into number 8 now, getting into the home stretch. Number 8, of course, came out in 1988, makes it 36 years old. And this is one of those ones that came out late 80s, but really, at least to my recollection, didn't catch on till early 90s, really. But once it did, it caught fire. It really hasn't let up. This is always in top 10, 20 lists of fragrances people buy. Yeah, fresh, sharp, green, aquatic, and floral. Very clean, very easy to wear. Yes, it does have that problem where people are going to know what you're wearing and recognize it, but who cares? Smells good, who cares? Very nice fragrance still, guys. Again, this is an old bottle from like 97, 98, somewhere around there, I believe. I mean, the paint's wearing off. You can barely see it. Yeah, great fragrance. They get a new bottle to test the new formulation. I keep saying that every time I do it. I never do. It's like $20. Why don't I? My favorites. Well, it's been replaced by Tom Ford Beau de Jour, but just barely, just barely. So we'll say this was nostalgia-wise. This is my favorite fougere of all times. Most of you are gonna know what it is before I even bring it up. I'm gonna give you a second to guess. Do 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 do. Did you get it yet? Write your answers down in the form of a question. This came out in, where's it at here? 1982. So I was barely out of diapers, honestly. Like barely. Maybe I still was in them. 1982. This makes it 42 years old. My God. And there's so many notes on it. I suppose I should probably say what it is, eh? Dracar Noir. Still perfectly wearable. I don't care what anyone says. It's so many notes. It's floral, green, spicy, woody, musky, mossy, old school, clean, soapy, green barbershop with a good dose of spice. Surprisingly more spice than you might think in this. And it's just super gorgeous. Classic male, masculine profile. Just gorgeous. God, every time I smell it, I want to wear it. I'm wearing something today. Should have wore that. And last but not least, some of you guys are going to hate this one. Some of you guys are going to love this one. Some of you think it stinks. Some of you wear it to this day. I wear it from time. I wore it the other day, honestly. Old Spice. I'm going to do the review on this one tonight or tomorrow because I wore it yesterday. Old Spice. Now I know what you think. Oh my God, it's horrible. This and that, blah blah blah. And I'll get into my review when I review it. But as of right now, that's not what this is about. 1938, 86 years old, and this stuff sells like crazy still. Simple fact that maybe because it's cheap, sure, but people aren't going to buy something just because it's cheap. Not a fragrance anyway. They're gonna want to be able to say they like it too, and have a lot of people like it. So just bear with me. Spicy, floral, vanilla, musk. I mean, and not as old school as you might think. Again, I'll get into it when I talk about it tonight or tomorrow. But what a gorgeous scent! What a gorgeous scent! Absolutely, Old Spice, guys. It's boom. So that's it, guys. That's the list. Again, not a end all be all list or a definitive list or anything like that. It's just 10 that when I looked at when this video popped in my mind, I looked and grabbed. And as you notice, like I said, most of them are from the 90s because that's where I tend to gravitate towards because of my age. And I was, like I said, a preteen, teenage boy in the 90s. So most of them are from the 90s. And old, just like me. All right, guys. Peace, love, be good to each other, and be good to yourselves.